What up, world? This is South Arkansas Trill Talk, part 27. Tuned in today, got entrepreneur, goes by the name of Andre Rucks. Y'all know I'm town favorite. All over all the man, young man, mayor for everywhere. Good leadership for the kids. I know y'all seen him in church, and I know y'all seen him with the youth kids coaching everything. Man, I'm gonna try to play with this camera and try to get him in here today. You know, I guess they didn't think I was gonna be on time today. I've been on time today. Know what I'm saying? Friday today. You know what I'm saying? Good day out there. Hope everybody have had a good spring break out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to get him in here, y'all. Just bear with me for a minute. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, you know what I'm saying, we out there, we this is a good person to have a voice for and a town voice for us. So any of y'all out there that, if you know him, you know, he's a good person for the job. A lot of people, they have their opinions, but like when you're a businessman or any of that, you have to accept and be prepared for the hatred that goes along in the background and anywhere you go, any goal you accomplish, anything for the people, basically, you really gonna have to have that kind of, what I'm saying, friction anywhere when you're dealing with the neighborhoods anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to pay attention. Any questions out there you want to ask. You know what I'm saying? He's an open person. He'll listen. Same time, you know what I'm saying? Answer all your questions out there. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. I'm gonna try to get him on here in a minute, y'all. You know what's up, Miss Lola Dangus? I see you out there. How you been out there? Just paying homage to all my people out there that's, you know what I'm saying, that's been entrepreneurs in your city, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think him as entrepreneur city. I think uh, a good entrepreneur, good spokesman for the city, for the state, everything. I'm gonna still try to get him, bring him in here and stuff, see where he at. Yeah, man, you gotta always know what's your ups and your downs out here, cause like I say, man, I'm getting better. You everything you do, no, I like the rough draft. Some people like, man, what you change it up? I was like, nah, man, you change it up, everything will be all distorted and stuff. And you can always go back and edit anything you do. You know what I'm saying? But what's up, Laquita Williams? I see you out there. But yeah, man, I'm gonna see I can bring them in here. Let y'all get a little gospel in the background. Yeah, we just chilling right now. Let me see where he at. I'm still fam. See where you at. Oh, let's see. I gotta get better at this. Might have to freestyle today if he don't come. See where he at today. They want to did the camera early in the morning. I'm getting better at it. You know what I'm saying? Salute people out there that get up every day, you know what I'm saying, get they grind on every day. You know what I'm saying? I salute y'all out there. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, man, we got going in South Arkansas Trill Talk, Part 27. You know what I'm saying? We got one more act tonight. You know what I'm saying? We gonna keep it going as long as we can. This platform to help everybody out. This ain't just for me. It's for everybody in the state of Arkansas. You can sing, rap. You can just be a community leader. You can be a basketball player. You can just even you can write children books. You can you can own your first business, house business, anything that you want to talk about for your business growth. You know, just the place for it. You just tell people what's going on with you. That's the main thing. What's up, Rucks? Where you at, man? Come on down to the comments right there, man, and I can buzz you into the camera right here. But I was telling people about, anything that you want to be, anything you got from your kids, any kind of business aspects, you know what I'm saying, that you want to be. There he is right there. Good morning with you. Finally, man. Good morning out there. Good morning out there, homie.
Good morning.
Hey, it wasn't on you the other night. It was on me, man. I'm procrastinating. I'm getting better with this camera and shit. You know, we always start off the rough drafts, you know what I'm saying? And hit it to something positive or something, you know what I'm saying? It all turned out right, man. I'm going to get you some people here, man, with a little bit, man. Introduce yourself to people and tell people what you got going on and stuff like that, man.
And let me first of all salute you, man, for your platform. I'm proud of what you're doing, man. I'm just here to help you out any kind of way I can, man. I love what you got going on, man, and I just appreciate you trying to keep the vibe alive, bro, and trying to educate your people out there in the community on this and that and things they can do and actions they can take. Like I said, my name is Andre Rucks. I'm a city council of El Dorado, Arkansas. Ward 3, Position 2. I've been in that position for 4 years. I'm currently defending my seat right now. And I just took a little time out of my morning to try to, spend a little time with my brother, my little big brother, Shemaine Brown, OG.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Man, I'm going to go through the questions and stuff. I had some good ones for you out here today. I know they wanted to know what was up, man, but Tell people about, we gonna go back first. I'm gonna ask you about, cause I asked a question last night and I know where we come from, you know what I'm saying, we're raised out of village love, but I wanna ask you a question on what do you consider from a law-abiding citizen, well, let me say that again, law-abiding citizen and hood rules, because, I know you done made it out the hood and you don't deal with none of that, the backlash of, just having a negative image on you, and tell people that, because, people be want to know when you become a law-abiding citizen that you don't live by hood politics no more, because, you have to worry about protecting your family. Tell people about that right there, man, so they can get a better understanding about your background.
Man, that's an excellent question, Brother Brown. We always talk about the code. We all grew up in the streets, and we all live by a code. And the code, there's a code of the streets, and there's a code of the law-abiding citizen. The code of the streets says that no snitching. Whatever you do is between the homies. You keep it in the hood. Never tell on your brother. Never tell on your neighbor. Always never involve the police. That's the hood. That's the hood code. But at some point in your life where you switch over and you become a law-abiding citizen, and at that point, you live by society rules, which is if somebody break in your house, you call the police. When you're paying taxes, there's a social program that pays for the police, that pays for the fire department, that pays for your streets. And they are paid taxes to make sure your community is ran safely and that they are actually operating in such a way that you get benefits from the city, by going to the grocery stores. You got 2 or 3 extra taxes on the end of your payment, and all that money is what pays for police officers, what pays for your streets, and what pays for your fire department. And once you get your life together and you don't operate in the street law, you don't live by a code of the streets. You don't operate from that anymore. Your family becomes first. With God always first in your family. And you always you don't get in the hood fights and you don't get yourself caught up in ruckuses because that's not your place anymore. Your place is to stay alive and survive and put your family first. And you're supposed to use wisdom when you're moving. And the wisdom says that you operate from a place of survival. And that survival is, hey man, you call the police who you pay taxes for. Because when you're a law-abiding citizen, that's their job to protect you. But when you're in the streets, it's your own self to protect you. So once you cross over into being a law-abiding citizen, you no more have to live by street etiquette. And don't you never allow people, and the people that's listening to this, don't you ever allow individuals who still in the streets to try to make you live by a code of the streets. If you see somebody murder somebody, you call the police. And that don't make you no snitch. That makes you living by society in the upper echelon. And so a lot of people who still in the streets want people who was in the streets to still abide by that old code. But once you graduate from that, and listen to me, you do graduate from that, which is a lower level of living, into a higher level of law-abiding citizen. And once you do that, then you're able to live by a code of let society take care of you in such a way where they protect you and they look out for your well-being, and that's their job, and that's not your job anymore.
Yeah, thank you for clearing it up, man, because, a lot of people be having it mixed up, and, like one time before, like some people, they respect a hustler more than a working man. That man get up every day and go to work, provide for his family and everything, and he less respected, his yard less looked out of, his house less protected when he out of town, any of that. But a person that's on that block, he get all the praise in the world sometime, and they even got cameras in the block, and they don't go by the ethics, and some kids don't even know what they want to be when they grow up sometime from that standpoint, because they don't want to disrupt any laws of the land, knowing that they can be a good fireman, a good policeman, but they'll rather be in the hood trying to be something because that's what they've been taught with their ethics of not snitching and no code law, man. Thanks for clearing it up, man. And
let me just piggyback on that for you right quick and just kind of follow with that what you just said, because you made a couple of good points what you said, like how the hard working man is not honored as much as the street man. So I was in Dallas yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I was talking to one of the businessmen, the Armenians, they're businessmen, and they was talking about black men and why they don't open up businesses and how they come to our community and exploit our community and open up businesses in our community. And they want to know, why don't black men open up businesses in their own community? And he was talking about how when he was a young man, how he came from Pakistan to America. And he was talking about how him and his wife were going to have to get on food stamps and government assistance. And he said, you know what? I'm not going to do that to my family. I'm going to get out here and bust my butt and build a business for my family. So he said, because he said, that's what happened. And I told him that, I said, that's what happened to a lot of black families. He said, once our mothers accepted that welfare, accepted that housing authority, he said, man, that is what crippled y'all in y'all community. He said, you reap what you sow. He said, if you put out free, you reap laziness. And it made me think about how a lot of black men coming from the hood don't aspire to be anything. They still a lot of people that me and you grew up in the projects, they still out there in the projects, because that balance and that dynamic cripples you, and it doesn't make you be all you can be. And before you know it, you're stuck, and you're in a cycle of drug dealing. And what do they see when they come out of the crib? They see people selling drugs and prostituting and selling women, girls selling their body. And what that does, and that's all a result of coming from a background of being placed into those low economic housing and accepting those food stamps. So we have to realize that what they see out of their house is hood stuff. And so the hood has been young men sagging and living by a street code. That particular code has become the black culture. It used to be a black family with a wife and the children in the home. That was it all the way up to the 60s. But in the 70s, the housing development, the project, they put our families in projects. And so that started breaking down the family. The man couldn't stay there. And so now they started turning to the streets as their way of life. And that's how the code of the streets started being established. And they don't realize that the best man was the working man and the family man. But we got to get back to our old culture and get away from this street culture that's destroying our communities.
Yes, what's up? What do you see any black businesses coming to El Dorado anytime soon?
Well, that's a problem all over the country, all over the world. The lack of black businesses. Now, a lot of black women are starting a lot of businesses. Now, a lot of people don't know this, that in Hillsborough, we finna lose Betty O's Fashion. Junior Ben finna be tore down. A lot of our even Chickadilly, I think, finna be gone. And so you're looking at Bobby Ray, his business right across from Betty O's Fashion. Michael Jackson gonna lose a lot of his parking lot. A lot of our black-owned businesses are gonna be affected by a state project. You know what I'm saying? So we have to realize that it's important that blacks, men, especially black men, start your own business, because if you don't have nothing, if you don't have a business, then you're gonna be at the subject of trying to go to interviews and be discriminated against, and you won't be hired, and you'll be struck in a position of poverty and not being respected by your wife, not being respected by your community, because you're not making the money as your white counterparts. But it's all by design. So yeah, it's a few businesses coming, but not nearly enough businesses. And that's why a lot of our people on the sideline, man, we have got to start businesses, but you got to get educated on how to run a business. We're supposed to be starting a Black Chamber of Commerce down here in El Dorado. Well, we're trying to help people get their names and their businesses off the ground and give them the resources they need to get their businesses going. But right now, there seems to be a fear of starting your own businesses. A lot of people bootlegging, selling plates out your house and cutting hair out of your house and hustling, but not really getting that LLC and getting that sole proprietorship and getting that legal business, that S Corp, so that they can actually become a legal entity and an institute where they can start not even using their own Social Security Social Security number, but also using their business Social Security number, where they can even hide behind an LLC, which is a limited liability corporation. So we need to be educated on how to run a business. The PPP, all that money they got, but they realized that it wasn't the money we've been missing, but it's the education. Because how many people got that money, but they don't have the money because they didn't know what to do with the money once they got it.
That's what's up. Sometimes, man, like some pop big, because I know you a hell of a grinder, hustler. It's in your blood and everything. And you know what I'm saying? People sometimes see you grinding out there because that's all you know and that's all you good, you know. We ain't always had to take drugs to sell something. We learned from school when we were selling candy in school out there, and the best right. Selling for school. But sometimes, you know, some people be want to know, like, could you teach a 10 of you? You see what I'm saying? Could you make 10 of you, then like teaching a class sometime? Because some people they don't know that is you like trying to be the forefront to talk where it's all about a dollar bill sometime, when like people don't they don't never come to the means. If you put a class together, they don't want to come get the knowledge to learn everything. They always go up here and say, and they see your work ethics is strong, and sometimes they need to be showed what they taught. You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can talk about what need to be done, but you have to show it to them. That's why I say is any way where they can show where 10 Rucks is doing what they doing instead of being talked about. Like that'd be the biggest thing, because everybody think is when you talk, sometimes it's about a dollar bill, when they can come to the meetings, the classes or whatever you put together, and let people get firsthand of the knowledge that they need so they can run a black business around there. Because people don't know sometimes which step to take. So could you enlighten people more of how they can get the knowledge, same ways with, like they say, if you don't vote, you don't, what use of you complaining? Do you think our people is the problem of not coming to town hall meetings and all the meetings that we have, even from auctions, and house tore down around there. Is you think that our people is the biggest problem with that, besides worrying about what the man won't do or the black man won't put them first? Explain all that to me, man. I got it all in there. I think I did. But do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh man, I felt you. You covered it all. You did well. I appreciate you said a mouthful. And you know, I give you an example. Big White is the manager. Chris White is the manager over the auditorium, and they was trying to fire him because they wanted to put a white individual in his seat. And so because we had about 20 people in the audience who was, while we were speaking, was like, yeah, that's right, and was cheering us on, that white individual backed down and said, you know what, I'm gonna back off this situation because of the support that we had in the audience. But normally it's only 2 or 3 blacks in the audience, but this time it was 20. And it was amazing how just them showing up changed that man not being fired. That's the impact that it takes when y'all out there in the audience listening and being a part of the process, and not sitting back from the sideline every day, but actually came to the meeting. And it was amazing how now we still been battling with it, and this, they're still trying to get at his job and fight with him. But I'm saying, but the fact that we had people in the audience, man, one thing they always say about a black man, if you want to teach him something, put it in a book. That our habits is what's killing us, Brother Brown. The habits. We don't have the habit of reading. We don't have the habits of writing down our things we're going to do that day, having a plan for that day. We wake up and we bake, we smoke one and we get our mind off in the streets. So instead of waking up and exercising and then reading and then planning your day and sitting down in front of you and writing your things to do list, these are the habits that pushes you to the next level. And a lot of people look at my life, and I try to lead by example. You've always known me. That's why when I'm selling a lot of products, I put it on the time to show you that I was selling masks and making $30,000 a month. Selling masks. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be letting people know it ain't the product, it's the principle of business. And it's, can you buy something for $2 and sell it for $4? It don't matter. It ain't gotta be illegal. It's the flip game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so what we want to do is, what we're working on right now is open up a black business school for 5-year-olds to 18-year-olds. We're working on it right now, put it together as we speak, so we can start teaching our young black men how to be entrepreneurs and how to start a business at a young age and start getting that business inside of them. And so that's what we're working on right now. And hopefully, hopefully that they'll break that curse, like you said, are not coming to, once we open up the school, hopefully those black mothers will bring their sons, because they're like, Andre, why don't you do it for men and women? My mission is mostly young men, because I feel like we get the man back in order, we can get the women in order, get the kids, we can get the order, the structure back. So, but a black male needs to learn how to make money. And you make money 2 ways. You sell something, or you provide a service, So I just left Dallas yesterday. When I went to Dallas, I bought all kinds of speakers and stun guns and CBD oil. Came back and already done sold half of it since this morning. Since last night to this morning, I've been up 6 this morning selling it and pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. I've been selling it and pushing it because I'm trying to show my people, hey, it doesn't have to be drugs, and it can actually be anything. It could be T-shirts, socks, hats, shirts, pants. All you have to do is buy right. Did you buy it for a good price, and did you sell it for a good price? And once we get those things in our people's mind, then I think we can start re-educating our people on how to approach business. But yeah, man, a lot of it is lazy learning. A lot of it is what's been instilled in them at a young age. They need to get the right conditioning. And so we got to teach them how to get up and go get that money and be a hustler and go get it and learn how to save your money and invest your money instead of spending on rims like we did at a young age and buying stuff and start buying houses and real estate and businesses.
That's what's up. Man, another question on them. What do you think about the black hospitals in that area, and why do we have to come this far to see a better doctor and all that? And we were coming up, Warner Brown and Union Medical, there was doing some good hospitals when we were little. I said over the years, the hospitals went down, and people have to come this far just to get seen by a good doctor, and people that's close by the town down there, you wonder why they got to come this far to see a good doctor. Is it no good doctors down there not practicing no more? Or they just get a office building and what, just get something going for a little while? Or they only hire interns in the area? Or why don't never have a good doctor, heart doctors or any of that right down in the area where they from? They have to come way out of town, get on the bus. Some people don't be in the condition with they health sometime to get on them buses. But what happened to I'm trying to see what happened to the Union Medical, the hospitals and the Warner Brown hospitals. What happened besides delivering babies in them days? What happened to them good programs down there to keep people from running out of town to go see a doctor? What's up with the doctor situation down that way?
Man, that's a good question, man. And well, me and you always keep it real with each other. So let's just go on, keep it real.
Yeah.
You got systemic racism and structural racism.
Yeah.
And when you have hospitals ran by primarily white doctors, they got a book out talking about how many doctors are taking people to the grave with them.
Yeah.
About who they killed and who they killed on the operating table. So I'm gonna be honest with you, this is a cry to my community to become more doctors and become more physicians and chiropractors and surgeons, because unfortunately when white doctors see our black skin, I'm gonna just gonna tell you the truth. When white doctors see our black skin, their racism even goes to that they don't even give you the complete surgery. We know that Martin Luther King died he didn't die from the bullet wound. He died from the surgery when he got to the hospital because the white doctor said, let the nigga die.
Yeah.
So that's still the same thing we're going through. So when our black skin goes to the doctor, when they see our black skin and they cutting on it, their racism is still deep within them. So the problem is a lot of us don't want to stay in school long enough to become doctors and make the sacrifices and get their practices. And then a lot of it, our own people like to feel like that the white doctors sometimes provide a better service when they need to go to their very own doctor of their own kind. So it's a lot of racism going on in the doctor's office as far as discrimination, as far as when you don't have insurance, they'll let you die, as far as when they doing operating on you, they're not giving their best because they have been told that you're cattle, that you're less than. So they're not fighting as hard for you on the operating table because their heart don't even care for you like that deep. So that's the truth and the reality of it, what we're going against. So I'm encouraging everybody to put your like we got the elevator promise. Let your kids become chiropractors and dentists and nurses and doctors and RNs and all those type of things. And so you can come to your own community. You remember my cousin Dee Dee, she just died. Before she died, she and I was working on putting a practice in the zone. We were finna put her a doctor's office in the zone to take care of our own people. You see what I'm saying? So we know that there's a need for our doctors in our own community. A lot of our black people don't even go to doctors because they just live with the pain and things be building up over time with heart blood pressure and cholesterol, and because we just deal with it. And so a lot of us don't have insurance and because of our poverty conditions. And so it's a lot going on within our community. But the truth of the matter is we need more of us to go to school and stick in there and open up their own practices. And we need us to patronize them and support them and become their patients.
Yeah. Follow up with that question. Like, explain to people, like, when you do go to school for certain things, like, cause I call myself going to college a while back, but biggest thing was intern. Explain to people it's best for you to get an intern job so that way you know that you will have something to look forward to when you get out of school. Because, a lot of people go to school for certain stuff and don't put in no intern, then they go look for a job from that, what they graduated from, and it's no jobs for them. And they be like, well, I went to school for this and that. And I'm like, well, did you have an intern to prove that you already know how to do this job? Explain to people what's more important and why intern is important with jobs and school. When you taking them grants and going up there and getting them grants, make sure that you got some intern, or can you get hired on like they do sometime before you get the job. Let you know you have some intern under your belt with your college degree. So if you do leave out the state, you can have something to use and saying that, yeah, I was intern for this and that. Explain intern to people about school situation.
So internship is a very powerful tool to get your foot in the door and to show people what you can do. Now, most of the times you're working for free, but you're gaining work experience. And a lot of time when you graduate from college, the first thing they ask you is, well, how much experience do you have? And if you would have pursued that internship, you can say, well, I interned at this practice or this practice, and I've got some experience as an intern. But what's happening, the intern used to be a big thing, but what's happening is they are picking and choosing who are allowed to be interns now. They are picking their own kind, and our people are not pursuing internships. And so you can't get away from the racism within the fiber of American society on how everything is built on. We want the whites to come up and want the blacks to stay in an inferior position. Until we accept that dynamic and start understanding that once one of us make it, we have an obligation to throw the lifeline back to the next one and pull them in the room with us. That's another problem. Is some of us are succeeding and they're not pulling in the next generation and helping them come up with them. You gotta, when a big door open up for you, you gotta say, hey, we got 10 internships. You gotta be in that room and say, hey, I got two young men that could do an internship. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta speak up. Like for instance, when I'm on the city council, and they were distributing out money for the streets, and one person kept all the money. So I reached out and said, hey, what about my ward? And so, oh yeah. Because you spoke up, I ended up getting an extra $1 million for my streets because I spoke up. So we as people, once we get in these rooms and get in these positions, we have an obligation to make sure somebody else come through the door as well. And a lot of us just be so happy that they made it that they forget about how they grew up and where they come from. And the key is, how many doors did you open up for somebody else? So you have an obligation to help your people get through these doors. You know what I'm saying? So make sure when you make it, I'm going to ask you, well, how many people did you help make it after you made it? Because that's what's going to be my question.
Yeah.
How many people did you help make it? And so it sounds good to go to internships, but a lot of the time it's hard to get an internship because no one is in there giving you an opportunity to become an internship. A lot of them fight for internships, but they looking out for their own. So that's what's going on with the internships is one, there's no desire for it. Two, when somebody become an executive position, how many people did you of your own or your like kindness did you help get through the door once you made it?
That's what's up. Man, what's the with the condition around in the jails down there and stuff? Because, like, I don't understand why people, when they do go to jail down that way, they still living under horrible condition that they go to jail for, like stuff they sell on the store items and stuff. But it's nowhere to cook food down there. Even from a pack of noodles, you have to, bonfire noodles basically, and you can't get you have to eat leftover foods. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's never no help. For, like you say, the system is corrupted a little bit down that way, but it's really no help these days besides, like, explain where people can get help these days from, like, without the Stop the Violence movement. Why do people have to get in front of Channel 7 or Channel 10 somewhere to get the people attention for the mothers that's grieving over their sons dying and stuff, why we can't have no programs that help grieving mothers or grieving fathers for their kids and stuff? What happened to the programs that help them people other than looking for a reward to turn the next person in? What happened to them kind of programs? Because these days, as our own black culture, we don't have no programs that we can go in besides getting in front of the cameras and, making a program for ourselves. But we trying to see where's the help at for any kind of black community, any like black assistance these days, all that. We trying to see where the help at these days. We can talk to someone, reach out right then on phone, speed dial or whatever for our black community. Where's our black leaders at around there?
That's a good question. Now, let's start off what you said about the conditions of the jails. First, how you first start off your question, and so I talk about the programs right after that. I think you kind of went into the programs after you asked about the jail. So the jail, I got a letter from one of the inmates saying, "Mr. Rucks, can you come out here and check on us? We out here sleeping on the floor. We don't have a mat. We out here sleeping on the floor." So I went out there and got him to call the sheriff, set up an appointment with him, and want to know about they sleeping on the floor. And he came back and said, "Yeah, Mr. Rucks, it's about 14 people sleeping on the floor." He said, "We didn't know about it." He said, "But since thank for calling and telling us, we just ordered 20 different new mats for them." And then so the bottom line is they also were telling about they eating cold food, and the food is not warm by the time it gets to them. It's ice cold. And so I went out there and they gave me their audit. They gave me the inspection report to show me how they've been inspecting their jail. And a lot of that was true, and a lot of it wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? Some of it wasn't true, but a lot of it was true. And so now, because we stepped in, now they're getting hotter meals. But that's just gonna be real, man. As African Americans, once you get into the judicial system, you're like a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
You better, and if we don't accept that you're like a prisoner of war, that we're in a war, and that white people have used police system to lock up African American young men to try to keep them from being able to vote and to try to keep them from being able to open up businesses. So we've been attacked right now, and they use the judicial system to keep us under the mud, to lock us up and to get their free labor out of us. It's still a slave type deal where they want free labor out of us. And so we got to understand that that's why we got to open up our own businesses. That's why we got to get active in the community, because they looking for you to sell drugs and get that felony behind you and get your life messed up so you won't be able to compete. See, it's all about competition, competing with their sons and daughters. So that's why you got to walk that straight and narrow and not get caught up in the system and get your name flagged, because once your name gets flagged, now you can't get licenses to do real estate, to do hair, to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, whatever you want to be. They know that felony stops you from getting into those programs. So it's all strategy. But they put our moms in the ghetto so we won't understand that. We'll come out selling dope, just trying to make it out the hood. Our homeboy selling dope. So now we part of that life. You know, that's what happened to me. I come in the room when as a young man having children at an early age, and I see 42 ounces of crack on the table. What am I going to do? I start selling based on who I was around, and that's how I end up in the dope game, having children early and coming from the hood, having children early, and I started selling drugs and became good at it. Before you know it, I'm up on $100,000 selling dope, and I became the man in the dope game. You know what I'm saying? Because my environment took over me. But as far as programs, I was just fighting that in the city council the other day, saying, hey, we need programs for shelters, programs for homelessness. But the problem is they don't care. We keep on wanting them to, we as a people got to come together and put our resources together and put our money together and start taking care of our own. We got to get abandoned houses and make it a shelter. And all of us wake up on Monday, Saturday mornings and paint that house and put a window in that house and turn that house into a program. We got to do it. We can't keep looking for them to hand. Why would the enemy give you in the war? You want the enemy to help you and you in a war? That don't even make sense. So we got to understand the approach that we have is about understanding that we have got to take our problems and fix our problems in our own community. Men got to become leaders again, become strong. We got too many men with all these tight jeans on and they being strong, they being a man of their house, ain't being the spiritual leaders. The women are taking over, they're leading us, and men at home while the woman out working. It's too much of and that's come from the Willie Lynch of making sure that the man get protected and the woman go out and provide. They have broke our family structure down. So we got to take control of our own community with our own programs, and let's get our own people out there and let's solve our own issues, because right now, depending on your enemy to provide solutions for your community is ridiculous.
Why? Go back to what you were saying, man, with that question. Like, do you think that, like you said, people come from good homes? Do you think that they led to the street by choice or broken homes? Because some people come from good homes, and was it your choice to do wrong, or was you know what I'm saying, come from a broken home that you were designed to do wrong? Was it your choice to do wrong, or because some people use that as a crutch. Sometimes they come from broken homes and they use that as, oh, I did this because I come from a broken home, or did you choose the street on your own? You know what I'm saying? Because some people use that. Which one was it? Your choice, or the streets chose you? Which one was it?
Let me tell you something, bro. Your environment makes you. Whatever you walk outside of your front door and you see every day, that's what make you. Now, some people got genes where they stronger genetically and they can move and around stronger and get things done stronger, but your environment always overtake you. You gotta survive.
Yeah.
So you're gonna become your environment. So that's why I'm trying to get community centers down here in El Dorado. We're trying to get recreation centers down here. So when our kids walk out of their door, they can come to a computer lab, or they can come to a library, or something that they can come to a safe haven, and they can print off stuff and get research. It's what they see. When you walked outside of Hagen Neal, all we saw was a bunch of poverty, families, food stamps, battling uptown, downtown, seeing are you strong, are you weak, just testing our resolve, seeing are we weak. You know what I'm saying? So yes, bro, I'm telling you, your environment is your most important, and the society know that. That's why they put our mamas in the ghetto, because they know ghetto will get in you.
Yeah.
And you'll start doing ghetto things, hood things, based on what you see. What's in your what's jumping inside of you based on your environment. Your environment is the most important thing. You could put a shark in a small tank and he'll never grow. But you put him out there in the ocean, he'll become a big monster. And they know that. They know that's why they put us in the pod, because they knew that we wouldn't grow. But if you put us in the right environment around doctors, then we'll become a doctor. You put us around lawyers, then one of us will become a lawyer. It's all about what you see and what do most of men you see. Hey, Andre, mama, take this cup and go down there and get some sugar from next door neighbor. Go down there and get a pack of meat to the furs. Go down there and get a pack of rice to survive. We saw survival. So that's what we became. So I started selling drugs based on strictly survival. So, and no dad was around, or we didn't have them fathers around telling us this right, this wrong. A lot of times our parents looked up to us when we became big drug dealers. My mama looked up to me because I was a big drug dealer. You see what I'm saying? So not having a dad around. So it's all about the family structure, man, and not really no one's pushing us the right way and nudging us when we get off track. No. Get back on track. Keep going. And before you know it, the streets always got welcome arms. Come on in here. We welcome you. We want you over here. And so if you don't have no family that's saying, hey, young man, don't do that. Before you know it, we're another victim. And that I was a victim of the streets. You was a victim of the streets, bro. And most of us who came from that Hagen Neal environment became victims of the streets. We got a few of us that made it out. That's why I go back to the hood and go back to Hagen Neal, show them, hey, bro, I'm one of y'all. I come from y'all. But I'm telling you, if you persevere and you have a vision for your life, you can still become somebody if you want it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I try to stay around and try to give these young men advice and let them know, man, I'm just big bro, man. I'm big bro. Ain't nobody, bro, but a servant. I'm here for you. I love you. I know my daddy wasn't there either. I was on government cheese. I know, don't tell me about the pain and the struggle, bro. I know about it. I feel you. But I still graduated from college. I still beat the dope game. I still didn't get no charges. I still never snitched. And I still came back, and I'm still back to the community, giving back to the hood, giving my story back to the next generation.
That's what's up. I'm going to let you get up out of here in a minute, man. I'm going to ask a couple more questions. What do you think about the gender, the studs and transgender? What do you think about that? Do you think it's okay? I know, they say be all you want sometime and be different and all that. And do you think it's a good look for our children in our communities to have the aspect, if you're not taught this at home, because it starts at home. if you don't teach at home about what goes on in this crazy world, you know what I'm saying? What do you think about the sports world? Do you think they should lead at the same with the genders of like women playing with women and men playing with men, and you know, because it's becoming a big factor even in the music game. All this, it's like you got to get these genders out the way, which you know don't mean you know I got love LBGT, you know, gay pride with the, you know what I'm saying, family traditions and stuff, but it's like, do you think that's a big problem to our community now, or what they put right in our face now? Because it used to be in the back there, you know what I'm saying? But now it's in the front, you know what I'm saying? Somebody brought that to my attention. What do you think about that? Is that a good look for our society, or that's a bad look for our society these days? What do you think about the?
Well, for me personally, man, just speaking for me personally, I don't knock another person for what they do. I just tell you me and my principles and what I believe in. I'm a God-fearing man, and I believe in the Bible, and I go by what the Word of God says. And He said He made man, and He made female and female, and whatever you born with, to me, that's who God intended for you to be. And so we got a lot of people talking about alternative lifestyles, and then that's their prerogative. I don't knock another person, but me and my family, you know, I try to teach that a man should marry a woman and a woman should marry a man. A man is born to be a man, and a woman is born to be a woman. A woman is born to be a woman. And to me, it's almost like an unfair advantage to me when a man becomes a woman and then compete against a woman, because his bones are stronger. The Bible said that the woman is the weaker vessel. So that means she's not as strong physically as he is. That's what that means. So when you allow your physical strength to go into a less strong competition, it's an unfair advantage. And me coming from a sports background, I just rather just think about LeBron James become trans, then he's just not going to be in the competition.
Yeah.
So I think society is getting away from Christ, and I think they're getting away from the foundation of what God made this world to be, which is why I'm telling people I don't think there's much time left in the world, because I just think that people are starting to do their own thing and they're trying to be bold. Like you said, they used to be in the closet, now they're being bold. They come down in the front, want their rights heard, and I don't mind, everybody need rights, but I still think that some things are not old time and some things should never change, which is how Christ made you, and He made you the way for a reason. And I'll always stand on that, and I believe that based on the scriptures, and that's just how I was raised. That's what I believe in. So I believe that we shouldn't be changing up if your body changing, that you're allowed to be over there and compete against women if you were made a man. I just don't believe that, because to me it gives an unfair advantage physically against somebody who's not as strong physically. So I don't necessarily agree with it, but I don't knock a man or woman for their choices.
That's what's up. One more, man. How do you feel about Arkansas hip hop? Do you think it's on a upward rise or a downfall?
Arkansas hip hop, man. You know, they say when you wanna go hunting, they say you're supposed to go where the animals at, that where it's a lot of animals you can shoot and can hunt. And Arkansas has always had a reputation of being a hillbilly state and slow and, overalls and tobacco spitting. So we had to overcome a lot, bro, for them to get respect, man. So I believe you're supposed to, in the music game, I think you're supposed to make some noise for yourself, but I believe in Atlanta, the Houston, the LA market, because that seems to be the most fertile ground for musicians. Because when the dirt is so hard, man, you have to break the ground, make it soft, then finally put a seed in it, fertilize it, grow it, finally years later get a plum, finally grew on the tree. It's hard to come from the dirt, but when the soil is softer in other places like New York and Atlanta and Cali, it's softer. So because the ground is hard in Arkansas, that's that old red clay dirt, and you're trying to grow a forest. And amongst that red clay dirt, it's hard to build it and grow it. And so because of the perception that Arkansas has as far as they think that we slow, we're not as smart, they don't, you know what I'm saying? So it's about that stigmatism that we got to overcome in Arkansas. But man, Arkansas got some heck of a talent. I'm talking about some booming artists that can go toe to toe with the best of them. But the bottom line is sometimes you just got to be on good fertile ground and go make it where you need to make it, then come back after you made it and then soften the ground better. That's just my approach.
That's what's up. Yeah, man. One more and get up out of here, man. Who you got for March Madness? You ain't chose yet. You still think with Razorbacks got a shot at this year? You know what I'm saying? Who your choice out there, man?
Man, you know Arkansas, they upset #1 last night. Yeah. They beat Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Hey, when the ball up in the air, yeah, we gotta play it out. Ain't nobody gay. So we still root for Arkansas, man. And I think I was looking. I don't know if North Carolina's still in. I ain't get a chance. I got back late last night, about 1 o'clock this morning from Dallas. So I ain't had a chance to look at it and see who all won and lost yesterday. But I woke up and seen Arkansas won. So Pig Suey in that area, we kind of feeling good and celebrating that. So we're gonna hopefully Arkansas will pull it out, man. If they can, that'll be a blessing. They don't have some nail biters this year, man. But I love NCAA, man. Hopefully, me and you can get a bunch of kids together and get a bus one day and take them all to the tournament one day, and we get hotels and raise some money and show them some different experiences, man. I would love to do some stuff like that with you, bro.
Yeah, man. Arkansas give you high blood pressure, boy. For real. Yeah. But yeah, man. Tell the people where they can get in touch with you at, man, from, you know what I'm saying, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. Where can the people reach you at and talk to you sometime, man? Let people know they got a voice out there, someone that's for the people all the time. Give them your information out there, man.
Man, my name is Councilman Andre Rucks, man. I'm always available for anybody that wants any knowledge. If I don't have the answer, I promise you I go get the answer. I can tell y'all about free programs that can help you get your business off the ground, help you get your LLC, help you get a business plan, your market research and analysis, anything with your kids, your youth. I'm here. My phone number is 870-312-6873. You can call me directly, and I promise you, I always tell Shemaine, I told him that I got time for you. I'm here for you because I love my people. I know where I come from, and I know that I gotta always, as a leader, go back to my people and walk them across the finish line and lead them across instead of being out in front. You know, I try to walk with them and take them across the finish line. So I'm here for you. Now, anything I can do for any of y'all, don't y'all ever hesitate to reach out to me. I love my community. I know our struggle, and I know the things that we need to try to fix some of these gaps that's in our community. And the number one thing that I'm fighting is financial equality. What's the point of going to eating at the same hamburger stand when you can't order the same hamburger? So let's get our money up, save your money, invest your money, get your spirit right. Holler at me. If anything I can do, I'm always available. I'm Councilman Rucks, and I appreciate this opportunity, and I'm proud of you, and anything I can ever do for you, bro, reach out to me. You know that, though, already.
That's what's up, man. I just be reaching out, man. I'm going to give you flowers while you're here. You feel me, man? I give all the flowers while they're here, man, and keep doing what you're doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep being a voice for the people and stuff. And even though we support that hood over there to the day we die, but you know we can't die with it. And we've been supporting the hood that, you know what I'm saying, the government on. So we got to get out of that old way of thinking sometime and get our old youth out of that too. And you know, and I bless you every day, man, on keeping our youth together for good, for real though, on that part, for real. But man, you take care out there, man, and keep your family blessed. Keep, you know what I'm saying? Keep putting positive things. Keep putting that positive on people, man, because even though, you know what I'm saying, people bump it, like I say, man, come, don't say, look at what he do. Come out there and fight that war right beside him. So that way you'll know what you up against too. Because it's easy for one person to fight, but if they make 10 of you, it'll be a hard person to stop then, you feel me? But man, you take care, man. I hit you up anytime, man. You want to get on a platform and, you know what I'm saying, do anything you want sometime. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can take over the whole show, you feel me?
I'm just getting it together the best way I can, man.
Man, you keep doing what you're doing, bro. I love you, man, and I'm proud of you,
Too,
bro.
man.
And man, you remember you had your concert out there at the fairground a long time ago, man, and you know we was always there with you, bro, supporting you, man. And we always been proud of you. And you always try to be an innovator and step out and be your own creator. And man, I'm just letting you know, man, we love you and we salute you, bro. And you keep the good work up. And I'm just here to do anything I can do to try to help you and get your name out there more and keep on building what you're trying to build, man. I salute you, bro.
You take care, man.
I love you, bro. Bless you. All right, baby.